Before getting into the video, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for the love that my Monster Hunter video got. I promise to repay you guys by one day being sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends and other similar beloved companies. You are truly helping my capitalistic dreams come true. Because what's better than capitalism? An individual making his own destiny with his own hard work. That's the kind of philosophy that makes a third world child go
Destroy India!
So throw away those dead trees, drop out of college right now and make your own destiny by watching this video about how playing Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is like attending class at Jaden Smith University Incorporated.
Like, can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
The story of MGRR feels really out there and crazy at first, which makes sense since it's a Japanese product.
What about all the good things war has done for us? Why don't we ever hear speeches about that?
But there is a surprising amount of nuance.
Adopted. Their brains.
Not as the law sees it. These are street kids after all. Most of them have no ID or papers whatsoever.
Which doesn't make sense since it's a Japanese product. In my experience, good Japanese stories do heart really well because of their inclination to being blunt and emotional. Philosophizing and nuance aren't really their ball games, but here the bluntness is useful. Take terrible things that happen in the real world, then exaggerate them with a sci-fi twist. Like in the game, children's brains are being collected to turn them into cyborg soldiers. In real life, this doesn't happen, but there are children being brainwashed and trained as regular soldiers. In the game, there's a Muslim terrorist who blows himself up for his cause. In real life, this does not happen. But while the political and economic state of the world right now is very interesting, the personal stuff feels like a bit of a footnote. It's not bad, just forgettable.
Your actions are rooted in affinity for those from similar circumstances as yours.
Huh. Guess so.
This is why I fight.
Although I did feel bad that Raiden was reared as a soldier since childhood and thus never got to see the rise and fall of Mr. Breast, why does everyone yap so much in this game? Shouldn't their vocal folds have melted from the inevitable takeover of Lunchley? Going to Jaden Smith University has taught me that in order for students to take in everything, the lessons must be focused and engaging. Same is true for stories, Mr. Platinum. McGr goes so much at length that it runs around back to being bare bones. A short summary only gives you the outline. A bloated story gives you so much that all you can understand is only the outline. But the story and characters have been cherished by memers. For gamers, the game's gameplay has always been the selling point. And I don't understand why people love it, because for me it was quite the frustrating experience.
You fucking the hell out of me, bro. I'm new, bro.
Okay, I kind of get where the cyborg lovers are coming from, so let me get into the good stuff first. Blade mode. Lock in and let loose. All the enemies can be worn down and turned into chopped shit with a broken heart just like me. It's not necessary to end every enemy's life that way, but it's a major source of health regen, so it's good that it never gets old. The best thing about the game, however, is its enemies.
I love you, Jeff.
They look kind of bland, like the rest of the game, but they feel very distinct to fight. The katana guy pulls you into a parry battle like it's Sekiro. The spider-like mech glides around the field and has quick attacks that need to be multi-parried. The gorilla jumps around everywhere and hits you with the till you hit its hands with the or kill it. The bosses too are so almost incredible that this game could be a must-play for enemy design alone. They all have unique features that don't feel gimmicky at all, and the amazing soundtrack boosts the wow factor to the heights of Overwatch Rule 34. There is one problem with the boss fights though. There's too many sections of downtime where we either have to fight grunts or do other unfun stuff before getting on with the real fight. This kills the pace of the fight. Imagine if instead of saying, "Can we talk about the political and economic state of the world right now," Jaden Smith said,
Oh my god, like, can we talk about like... the political and economic state of the world right now?
Platinum had a golden goose and they decided to place it in a swamp. The golden egg is still there, it just needs a bit of cleaning up. But the minor stains that break the flow of boss fights are nothing compared to the filth that is the camera. I don't know what type of camera style this is, but it deserves a place with George's friends.
See, I'm creating gas.
The camera constantly tries to center itself against the player's will and pushes away from walls like they have 1000+ karma on Reddit.
Where you going?
You can lock on to enemies, but they are aggressive, and when there's multiple of them, especially something like the gorilla, you need to be able to look around. I think a fixed angle like the old God of Wars would have been the better choice here. Imagine Jaden Smith graces you with his presence. I'm sorry for doing this again. Imagine Jaden Smith graces you with his presence, lets you sit in his class and delivers the greatest lecture on political and economic state ever given. But it's an online class. Your network is shit and his mic is placed at the worst angle. It's a shame that the amazing enemies of Met G Rai Rev can't be fully enjoyed the way they were meant to because of faulty camera. And besides that, there are also smaller annoyances. The auto parkour feels a bit unpredictable, and in a room full of objects, it gets in the way of combat. And why do I have to press X and Y to begin chopping sequences for some enemies? As soon as I see blue tints in slow motion, I instinctively press the button for blade mode, and it cancels the X and Y input option. I got used to it once I learned when enemies get into choppable states, but didn't see reasons for its existence at all. Raiden's moveset is also lackluster, not because he has few options, you have a handful of upgrades for both combos and stats, but because he doesn't really need most of them. Early on I was trying to switch up my moves, but it didn't have any tangible effect on gameplay, so I stuck to the basic combos. And for crowds I pulled out the Nico Robin special. I know this is not a fair comparison, but I think the game would have been better if it was more like Sekiro. No combos, just focus on parrying and combo-lessness. There's a big weapon you unlock later that has just one swing. Through upgrades it has a whopping 2 swings and a charge spin. But it's fun. Combos wouldn't have added much to it because of the simple mantra of big swing, big damage. I think the game would have been better if such an approach had been taken for all the weapons.
This is a work of art. This is
Alright, like...
I know this is a beloved cult classic, but for me it was just a mid-experience. And all of my complaints can be summed up under the term polish, the lack of it. Raiden's Metallic Revenge just feels clunky, and it's surprising that it came after Bayonetta because that game, at least in the gameplay segment, was tight and fluid. Again, Metal Gears of Revenge is not bad, but every good thing about it feels like missed potential. Good story overstays its welcome. Great bosses? Mandatory stop fighting them segments. Great video? Like, share and subscribe because that's my conclusion. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is a fun game that could have been amazing if it had got the right amount of polish. If you think I did make sense in my complaints, check out my video on Monster Hunter Wilds. I made a mistake about the decoration system, but it's still a good video, I think. Thank you and bye-bye.
Turn off my pain inhibitors.